The idea of using a gifted airplane as the presidential carrier or even accepting a $400 million present has raised eyebrows and drawn criticism over conflicts of interest. Our correspondent in Washington, Fraser Jackson, told us more.
It would be the largest government gift that's ever been received. But of course, the actual economics of it in itself don't really make this deal viable. Even if the plane itself is worth $400 million, if the administration was to use this as Air Force One, what they would have to do would basically strip this plane right back to the studs to ensure that there weren't any kind of listening devices or anything else planted inside of this aircraft, and then completely rebuild it. So at which point the entire exercise seems a bit redundant anyway. But of course, the other reason that people are worried about it is because they think that this is screaming corruption, because the idea would be that this plane would then go to the Donald Trump presidential library. Now, Trump has said that he wouldn't use this plane once he left office, but that is the worry that a lot of people have, that this plane will then go out of service once he leaves the office and the new Air Force One gets delivered by Boeing, and then he would effectively be able to use this new plane as Trump Force One. Now, I should point out that Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary for the White House, said on Sunday that all laws would be followed, and the Qataris, for their part, say that this is still hasn't even gotten out of the blocks yet. But there are some alarm bells ringing here in DC.
Meanwhile, Fraser, back to this trip to the Middle East, it looks like it's all about the money, with some deals already being done.
Yeah, the foreign policy goals and aims are somewhat murky, really, on this trip. This is the first trip that Donald Trump has taken in a real professional capacity. Of course, went to Rome recently, but this is the first real state visit, as it were. Once again, heading to Saudi Arabia and also tacking on Qatar and Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates as well. Now, like I said, the foreign policy aspects here may be potentially thin on the ground, but it's all about the money on this trip, with Donald Trump looking to sign over $1 trillion worth of deals with the three oil-rich nations. They, in return, would like some U.S. security. They're going to be buying some weapon systems as well. And the UAE is looking at trying to become a world leader in AI as well. Now, to do that, they will need some access to some of the American super chips. These are chips that were going to be effectively curbed under rules that Joe Biden brought in to try to stop other nations from getting a competitive edge on the US. Well, Donald Trump has said he's going to roll those back and allow those chips to flow in to the Middle East. So we're going to see some developments there. Potentially also, interestingly and noteworthily as well, Israel not a part of this trip. But in the past, the Saudis had been trying to get a normalization deal along the line in exchange for their civilian nuclear program. That is what the Americans have been trying to get out of the Saudis under the Biden administration. The normalization of ties had been fraught, though, because of the Palestinian issue. And of course, now especially, that is all but in tatters on the floor. We're hearing from sources, and also Reuters is reporting as well, that the American administration now under Donald Trump is not that bothered about the Israeli normalization of ties with Saudi Arabia as a kind of prerequisite for this civilian nuclear program that the Saudis are looking for. So some interesting developments there as well. But yeah, it's going to be a significant economic trip for Donald Trump. He's trying to make it clear to his voters that he's bringing money back to America. But you have to kind of ask yourself what the Arabs are getting out of this meeting as well.